Hello, everybody, and welcome in to today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. You are listening on Tuesday, October 19th. Welcome! We made it, everybody! This is our 50th episode Extravaganza. Woo!
Yes, and as promised, later we will have the interview of the first place winner of our first tournament.
That's right. We had our 50th episode Extravaganza tournament in our Discord server. It was over the weekend. If you missed it, don't be as scared. Join the Discord server. We do plan on having more tournaments.
Don't be as scared.
Don't be scared. We're all very friendly and we're all very wonderful people here in the Discord server. But the most wonderful people, of course, are our patrons. And they are Ace Micah, Austin Johnson, Myth Oceanus, Pig, Scuzz Daddy, Aaron Gardner, Adil Saeed, Anthony Leah. Is it Leela or Leia? I think it's Leela.
Yeah.
Mountain Man, Owen Alvarado, Jeremy Drysdale, and Ray Powell. Thank you all so much for your wonderful support of the podcast. Without you, it would not be possible. We had a pretty good turnout for the tournament. We had, I think it was
10 people total.
Yeah, 10 people total. We had the deck breakdown. I think it was 2 MIT. We had 1 PK. We had one
Virtual World. One Paleo Frog.
Right.
There's a bunch of 1-ofs from there.
Eldritch Trap deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, very, very happy to have everybody that participated to be there. Congratulations to Evie Master for winning the tournament. He is, like I said, we're going to actually probably right after this, we're going to go ahead and have the interview on. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later on is when we will go on and get into the regular stuff. So go ahead, take a minute, listen to the interview. Some good stuff about deck choices and things of that sort. And we'll be right back after the interview for a quick little talk about some upcoming stuff. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to this interview with Evie Master. How are you doing, dude?
Pretty good.
So, we're actually recording this before we record the rest of the episode, and we're gonna edit this in
in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, in middle and somewhere. We're gonna edit it into the actual episode. But you participated in our 50th episode Extravaganza.
I did.
And how did it go for you?
Pretty good, because I won, so it feels pretty good.
That is wonderful. You are the proud owner of a light play, first edition Ultimate Rare Karma Cut. So congratulations.
I do appreciate it, because now I have my playset of Ulti Karma Cuts for BA, which is perfect.
Woo! Yes, that is
wonderful.
A very nice thing to have. Well, congratulations. What did you play in the tournament? The tournament, by the way, for those wondering, ended up not being super huge. We had like 10 people participate, but I'm going to be honest, I'm happy with that result considering we only gave anybody like a week's notice.
Like week and a half, 2 weeks at most.
Yeah, so, but what did you end up playing?
I ended up playing PK Fire, but I played not Dragoon, I played F-Zero instead, which I think both versions are really good, but I ended up going with F-Zero because I hadn't played it a ton and I wanted to try it. So
Right. How did the F-Zero work out? Did it come up?
It came up a lot. It was very good against Earth Machine. It is a game-winning card, and I played against 2 of them, so we will take that.
Yeah. We'll go through the deck breakdowns when we record the actual episode. But so you say you played 2 Earth Machine. Let's do a round by round breakdown.
Okay. Round 1, I played against Earth Machine. It was pretty simple. We had a grind game 1, and I ended up coming up ahead because I made F-Zero and just kind of beat him down with it.
Right.
Then the second game, I kind of just blew him out. I kind of just blew up I kind of drolled him, and then I just kind of beat him. The deck can't do anything under droll, which I don't think a lot of people understand. Second round, I played against Eldritch. Game 1, I had the grind game. We grinded for a while. I ended up coming just far enough ahead with a access code play to just kill him. And then game 2, I feel really bad for the guy because I really blew him out of the water. I drew double Twin Twister and I just blew up his 4 back row and then beat over his border, and I kind of just went off it. So I don't know how it would have gone if I didn't draw the double twin, but who knows?
Who knows?
Round 3 was against Infernoid, and I lost this round in Swiss. But I mainly lost to the fact that the Infernoid player was playing mine with the continuous Infernoid trap and just kept, if he didn't kill me, he just looped everything back to his hand and just did it again. So, unfortunately, can't really deal with that. And then round 4 was against Earth Machine, and again F-Zero put in a ton of work. I stole his Xyz monster, which is River Stormer, when he was trying to do the normal play, and he just couldn't do anything without it on board, on his board, I
God,
should
F
say.
Zero can do that.
Yeah, when F-Zero negates a monster, you take control of it if it's on the board. It just doesn't destroy him.
Oh, that's funny.
That is hilarious.
It's super. It comes up and it's super funny. And then in Top Cut, I played against Infernoid again, but this time I saw my Twin Twisters and we got rid of mine and we kind of dealt with it.
Oh,
So
well, there you go.
again, yeah, again, it's the only way I was winning that game was if I saw a twin and I was banking on it. And then the last round, or last round, I played against Paleo Frog and I won game 1 pretty like not that difficultly. I played through whatever he did, and then game 2, I think he made a really awkward play. He went for access code and then tried to kill me, but he didn't do it. He couldn't kill me, and then on the crackback, I just dealt with the board. So, but
Yeah, for
mhm.
sure.
And that was about it.
Huh. Well, I'm glad that the tournament went well for you. Every tournament has to have a winner, so I'm glad that you did so well. It was interesting for me to see the BA deck, the PK deck, just body people. I mean, you were smoking people. I tuned into some of the matches, and generally it wasn't close.
Yeah.
So
This might be just on the fact that I've been playing the BA deck literally since Torn Skills come out, and I played BA and PK for well before the time of playing it now. I played it during Virtual World when they had VFD. I played in the format following that. I played it for a very long period. I really like the deck and I really know it really well, so it really doesn't help when someone doesn't know their deck and then I know mine. It just makes it way too easy at times.
yeah. Deck knowledge is probably one of the biggest things to consider when you're picking your deck for a tournament. I think it's maybe the most important thing to consider.
I do agree with that because I remember I've gone to a couple regionals and I was debating on do I play the deck that I know is really good but I haven't played a lot, or do I just play the deck I know the best? Because like one of the major regionals I went through and played and did well at, or decently at, is I had the choice of playing like the new combo Thunder variant or just playing Pure Thunder. And I just said, well, I know Pure Thunder like the back of my hand, so I'm just gonna play Pure Thunder, and I don't really want to have to play around all the new, because this one the original Megatons with like Nibiru, Dark Rule, and all that stuff came out, and I was like, I don't want to lose it just getting Nibiru because I don't know the combo well enough to play around it. So I just played Pure Thunder during the entire event, and then got my invite off it. So
I mean, sometimes the deck you know is just better than some deck you don't, even if the deck you don't know. Like if you're going to an event, Caleb's a good example. Uh, we went to a 3v3 tournament, and Caleb's been on Madolche nonstop for months now. And we went to the 3v3 event, and at the last minute, we were like, hey, maybe you should play a control deck.
Yeah, which for me would be Trap Shadal, which I hadn't at that point hadn't played in
Months.
months.
Right. Turns out that was not the correct decision. The correct decision was absolutely just Madolche. After lots of playtesting, we were like, let's just play Madolche. It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
more comfortable.
I had this. I had the same thing, but like I had two of my friends who hadn't played in months. Not so much they didn't know their decks, but they hadn't played in 2 months, and the same thing applies there. 'Cause we went to a 3v3, and I was the one that was doing pretty decently well, and the other two were having like they were just having hard times making some of the decisions or like knowing what other decks did and what their game plan was.
And then that's not to say that you have to play nonstop to be able to play your deck,
Hmm.
but it does help.
It does make it a little easier.
Yeah. So, well, um, I wanted to ask you, were there any particular deck choices or decisions that went into besides the deck itself? Was there anything in particular that you did that you maybe wanted to highlight?
Big one would be F-Zero. Playing F-Zero over Dragoon. Um, it's different in the way that people don't think about because it does change how you want to play the deck because you're not playing to win normal turn one like normal PK would be with Dragoon and stuff. You're playing to make it so they don't beat you, or you're trying to play just enough so when you kill them on a crackback. Because when you end your turn with the normal board of like Rusty, F-Zero, IP, when you end on that, you have Follow Up in the Grave with Cloak and Torn Skills. You have Fog Blades set, and you have all that follow up for the next turn. And you have a Zold in your extra deck, so you can go for the access code like OTK if you really want to on the following turn. I really think that's a big part of it. I was also playing 2 Phantasme, 2 Nibiru, because those are like the 2 really impactful hand traps, and it's really the cards that help you see what you want to see against decks. Because I play Droplet in
Right.
the main, so like if you go Phantasme and you find the cards you're looking for, that just kind of can win you the game off that.
Definitely. Caleb, you got any questions?
No, not really. You pretty much covered everything. You pretty much covered everything I was going to ask.
Oh, well, in that case, then I have more questions.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I just wish I could remember what they were. I should, I should have written all this stuff down. So,
Oh no, but I could literally talk about this deck. There's a lot of weird stuff. I'm playing one order in the side deck, which feels weird because you're looking at PK and like, why would you play order? Because order is a card that if you see it first, like you just win the game off it. I'll give mad
wow,
props to
yeah,
my.
that's pretty good reason to play it, in my opinion.
Oh, I know, and my friend Rick has been like literally like jamming the idea of playing order in the side deck, no matter what your deck is, because literally in my Duratron deck, which literally is half spells, I side order because if you order someone on the second turn and it's their turn, they kind of just lose because they don't have an answer to it. Who sides the B order against Rytron? Nobody.
Yeah, yeah, order's a good card. Order's a good card.
Yeah.
I
Order is
did
a
want
very dumb card.
to ask you. I remember one of my questions. So how long have you been listening to the podcast?
I've been listening to your podcast since September 24th, which was the episode where you guys were talking about the upcoming format with Bode.
Right, I got you. Not like that wasn't our plan for today's episode or anything. We're not going to talk about that though until after this interview. But no, post Bode is going to be a really interesting format, I think.
I think it is, but I also like I'm in this weird camp because I don't know if it makes a big enough difference. Like you're gonna see the meta shift, but the decks that are good right now are still gonna be just as good. But you're now the decks that are coming out in both have to compete with these decks, and I think a lot of people are of the sentiment that a lot of the new decks are gonna have a hard time beating some of these older ones. Like I don't think Sword Soul is gonna be able to play through a Drytron board unless they play the power cards in their deck. Otherwise, I think they just lose to it and things like
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Sword Soul is going to be able to compete against what we currently have in the meta. And Sword Soul is, in my opinion, the best deck coming out of Bode.
I do agree there. I think Sword Soul is the best deck out of Bode coming out, but there are a lot of interesting things that people may not be thinking about. Like Despia Dolls is decent right now, and it just gets better when Bode comes out.
Right.
Flunderies is a very good deck if you are not prepared to have to deal with it.
Flunderies is a good meta call.
Hmm.
I
And
think being able to macro your opponent at any given point is really good.
Or just kind of shrug at a Shadal window.
yeah, pretty much. That's the big thing there. But granted, like Invoke Shadal hasn't seen a ton of consistent play currently. Again, it's the same thing. Any Invoke variant will start off the format being played a lot and then just slowly die down into played rates.
Right.
So,
Well, are you looking forward to our next tournament?
I probably will play again. I just like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and my locals hasn't started up again, so I'll take whatever I can get. It's just kind of upsetting.
Fair enough.
Gotcha. Well, we are hoping to do another little tournament in the server well before the 100th episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we're not going to wait till 100th episode extravaganza, although we will do one of those also.
Yeah.
So, but thank you so much for coming and playing. Thank you so much for competing, and congratulations on winning.
Why, thank you. And I will probably participate again, so you will see me again, I promise.
Woo!
Good to hear.
We are always happy to have people join, have people play, and have people come out and hang out. So, thank you again, and have a good day.
Yep, you too.
And welcome back from that wonderful interview with Evie Master. So, we do have a few things to talk about today. The first is we do want to talk about a new card. We have we have a new secret shiny box coming from the OCG. It's going to come with, it's kind of like their Prismatic God box, but it's got a little bit different stuff in it. It's going to come with, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's themed around Sky Striker this time.
I don't think it's necessarily themed around Sky Striker.
Well, it comes with a bunch of Sky Striker stuff.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's true. So it's got 2 secret rare foil special bonus cards. So there's 6 total cards. So you can get like one of 3 different cards. And then there's also 1 special acrylic stand with 6 different designs, 2 of which are Sky Strikers. one set of 70 special duelist card protectors with 6 different designs. So you get one of 6 different packs of sleeves. One special storage box, 3 different designs. So you get one of those. 5 packs of the secret shiny special pack. So it is an extra special pack of super shiny cards. 5 cards per pack, 40 total cards. And one set of 70 duelist card protectors, which are large and clear. So they give you a pack of oversleeves too, which is
Very
than,
nice.
Yeah, more than we can say for the TCG. So yeah, this is an OCG product. We don't have a release date for the product, but I mean, it'll be coming. Some cool stuff coming though. The first thing to talk about is Strategic Striker HAMP. So the Strategic Striker HAMP is a new Sky Striker card. And the effect is, it's a level 8 Dark Machine effect monster, 2,500 attack, 2,500 defense.
First line of text is that this card's always a Sky Striker card.
Yeah, it's always treated as a Sky Striker card, which means...
it's searchable.
Absolutely, yep. So you can just go ahead and grab it right out of the deck with your Engage and then still draw one. But this card's extra cool because you can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If you control a Sky Striker Ace monster, you can special summon this card from your hand to either field by tributing one monster on that field. 2. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So very cool. You can either summon it to your own field as either a link as an extender or whatever, or you can kaiju to your opponent's field.
Yeah, you can just kaiju your opponent's Dragoon.
Yep, get rid of your opponent's Dragoon or whatever, And the cool part is that it is a summon that doesn't start a chain, so colloquially known as an inherent summon.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yep, and the thing is that, like, if you open this card in your hand plus one of your level 4 Sky Striker monsters, you can out your opponent's Dragoon and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because you just normal summon your Sky Striker monster, link it off into one of the Sky Striker aces, and then you can distribute off their Dragoon, give them this guy. And then whenever you run it over, you then also get to pop a monster on their field. On top of that. Well, pop a card on their field on top of that.
Yep.
It's a searchable kaiju is what it is. An in-archetype searchable kaiju, which is kind of what the deck needed.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's great. Oh, boy.
So, it'll be great for the deck. It gives them always a monster in their opponent's main monster zone and other things like that.
Yeah.
So, some of the reprints that are coming in this are Sky Striker Ace Race, Shizuku, Hayate, Afterburners, Multi-Roll, some other non-Sky Striker cards such as Millennium Eyes Restrict, Relinquished Anima, Nightmare Cerberus, Instant Fusion. I mean...
Pretty solid stuff in there, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Millennium Eyes Restrict reprint would be awesome. So...
Here's hoping we get that eventually.
Yep. So thank you so much for showing us all this cool stuff that we're not going to get in the TCG.
Yep.
So next we have the TCG structure deck Albaz Strike. So we do actually have an announcement of the
Fallen of Albaz structure deck in the TCG.
Right.
Which unfortunately suggests that they're skipping the agent structure deck here.
Which is just tragic.
Which also suggests maybe something like Ghosts from the Past too.
Right.
But basically they're going to have to come up with a reprint set to get first printings to the... Well, actually, they might just throw it into Hidden Arsenal Chapter 2. Because that's where all the original Dragoonity stuff is probably going to get reprinted. So I don't see why they wouldn't also just...
Because they've pretty well advertised the Hidden Arsenal is just the Hidden Arsenal monsters.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
yeah,
but they could definitely throw it in there. I just don't think they will.
Yeah.
But
we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, it'll hit shelves March 11th, 2022. MSRP will be $10.99 per box, so they are going up $1.
Okay.
So
it's not that bad.
Yeah, and when you consider the difficulties that they've had doing printing and stuff like that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just happy that. Well, I'm not happy that they're increasing the price, but I'm happy that since they're only doing it by like $1.
Yeah. So, it does include Fallen of Albaz, of course, and it says it will include multiple new fusion monsters to further expand its power.
Interesting.
So
'Cause the
we
O-
do know for a fact that it'll be,
Yeah, some new. Yeah, because I don't think the OCG structure deck got any new fusions.
I think it did.
I don't think so because
Well, we also might not know yet. I don't know. We have more information coming on the OCG one after this.
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah. Like particularly some cards that are almost that are most likely also going to be printed in ours. Just due to it being just kind of part of the deck strategy, which is
Right.
to turbo out the Albaz and then fuse.
Yep. So next, we do have the breakdown. It's got 46 cards, 40 in the main deck, 6 in the extra deck, and 5 special tokens. So the way it says it is...
Tokens.
Yeah, Alba Strike has 5 special tokens that you can use as whatever type of token you need, in addition to the new art made specifically for these, which can let you dig further into the stories of the Fallen of Albaz. So...
It's more Albaz lore
Right.
in the tokens.
Right. 5 ultra rares, 3 supers, 38 commons, 5 special tokens, and 1 double-sided deluxe game mat / dueling guide. All the stuff you normally get.
Well, does it say whether or not you only get 1 token?
It doesn't say.
Oh.
It says 5 tokens.
Okay. Okay. So in that case, they'd be giving us 51 cards.
Well, yes, because I don't know, the Spirit Charmer one had 5 different tokens that were possible. So I don't know. We could see.
Yeah, but you only got 1 per pack and it was random.
Right.
But then they also had that weird randomization of the alt arts.
Right. That's true. They did a lot of randomization in that one.
Yeah, so maybe they'll just straight up give us all 5 of them because, again, it is kind of a lore thing as compared to the...
And the other thing is with the Spirit Charmers ones, the thing you will have to look at is that was like a fan-made thing.
Fair.
It was fan-voted on, so when you really think about it, it's like, okay, well, let's consider really... They want it to be more of a fan service thing.
Yeah.
So, whereas this is more of something that they came up with and they want to put a little bit more effort into.
All right. That's fair. Yeah, so they might actually just straight up give us all 5, in which case that would be 51 cards in a structure deck, which is a little bit more than what we usually get, because normally you only get 43 to 46.
Yeah, it depends on how many extra deck cards. I think Cyber Strike had 45, 46.
Yeah. And it also depends on whether or not the deck itself can produce a token. If it can, they give you the one of the exact token for the deck.
Right.
Like the Dino Smashers 3-1 gave you a Direct token.
Yeah, Direct Egg token.
Yeah.
That is correct. So something that we do have, though, is we have about 4 or 5 new cards that we know are going to be in the OCG structure deck, so we can only assume they're going to be in the TCG one also.
Yeah, particularly because it's main deck, not extra deck.
Right. So new support. Tri-Brigade Mercurier is a dark winged beast effect monster, level 4, 800 attack, 0 defense. So something to note is that the Tri-Brigade... So the Albaz structure deck involves all of the other archetypes, the Spriggans, the Dogmaticas, the Sword Soul,
It's everyone coming. It's all the different factions coming together to help Albaz.
Right. So the Dogmaticas have just main deck monsters, whereas the Albaz, you have you have a fusion mechanic, which is Albaz. You have a synchro mechanic, which is Sword Soul. You have an Xyz mechanic, which is Spriggans. You have a
Link mechanic,
which is the Tri-Brigades.
Yeah.
And even Konami does not want to acknowledge pendulums. So.
Technically they're all the
Despia is the fusions.
Yeah, the Despias are also fusion, but that's also because I think the lore for that is that the Despias are the Dogmaticas going, the ends justify the means, even if it means going against our own code of ethics.
Oh, I don't know too much about the lore.
I don't know for 100% for that. But that's what I think it is, because the Despia and the Dogmatica have like the same, like, pseudo-Catholic theme going for them.
Right.
But whereas the Despias are the more dark side of Catholicism.
Right.
Or religiosity in general.
Well.
That and one of the Despia monsters is just straight up Fleur-de-Lis armor.
Right.
Like corrupted. But the Dogmaticas also do ritual summon, which isn't an extra deck summon, so still goes with their theme of the extra deck is heresy. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, so basically this is that the lore for this is that everyone's coming together to help Albaz. Help their boy Albaz.
Yep.
So keep that in mind. Even though that this is a Tri-Brigade monster and is part of the Tri-Brigade archetype, doesn't mean it's going to be helpful for the Tri-Brigade deck.
Right. About the cooperation between the Albaz and the Tri-Brigades and all the Spriggans and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. When your opponent activates a monster effect and you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to negate that effect. Okay, it doesn't negate activation, just negates the effect, which is not as good, but
I mean, it depends. Actually, that would depend on whether or not it says you can only activate or use. If it says you can only activate, it's better.
right. But if it says you can only use, then
It's the
worse.
same.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Second effect, if this card becomes banished, you can add one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that lists that monster in its text from your deck to your hand except Tri-Brigade Mercurier. Also interesting because technically if you activated another Tri-Brigade effect like a Tri-Brigade Fractal, say, on field and banished it to get its effect, then that would proc this effect and then you could search an Albaz. So like there are combos there are lines there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not smart enough to figure them all out, but they're there.
Yep.
Next one is Spriggan's Kit. A level 4 Dark Beast effect monster, 1700 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If you have a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Very good. 2. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one of your branded spells or traps that is banished or in your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then you place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, which is very similar to Bear Brum and Fairjeet.
Oh yeah.
So
Also, the artwork for this card is Kit, but like she's just kind of kitted herself, haha, with a bunch of like leftover Spriggan parts. It looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely Tri-Brigade Kit, but in like a different armor getup. Similar to how Bear Brum the Rampant Rampager is just Kit in a different armor getup.
Yeah. Well, it's her in like a tank she made.
Yeah. So, also another good card. I think.
Great extender.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and read off the next couple of cards, and we'll kind of decide how we feel about them after.
Yeah.
Unlikely Sword Soul Allies. It is a light spellcaster tuner effect monster. Level 4, 1800 attack, and 1500 defense. You can only use the second effects of this card's name once per turn. 1. When a monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that attack. Then, if you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz, you can destroy the attacking monster. So if you have 2 of these in your hand, you can do this more than once. 2. If a monster becomes banished face up, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard. Special summon one light spellcaster whose attack equals its own defense from your hand or graveyard.
Which would be all the Dogmaticas, I think.
No, probably not all the Dogmaticas. Probably, well, maybe Ecclesia exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
But
yeah.
it might be the new Ecclesia.
Ooh, good point. Also, the artwork for this is like, I can't think of the Dogmatica dude's name. The
Dogmatica Aiden?
Yeah.
Or Theo.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's him with a Sword Soul dude.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the unlikely Sword Soul allies.
Gotcha. Okay.
I guess a lot of Dogmaticas left.
Yeah. So, if you look at like a little editor's note here, which is that the name references 2 things. The Japanese name, which is Ken-en no Naka, which literally translates to 2 people being like cats and dogs, and the Yellow Emperor Junyan. Judging by how all the Zhanjiang are based on Chinese swords, it's probably based on his mythological sword, Junyan Jin. I hope I pronounced those right. I don't know. The next new card is the last new card is a continuous spell card called Paradise Branded. So first thing right off the bat, it is a branded spell or trap, so it's searchable with Aluber.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. The activation of your cards and effects that include an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent's cards and effects cannot activate when a monster is fusion summoned this way. 2. If you fusion summon a fusion monster, you can add one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that lists that card in it from your deck to your hand. Wow, it's Magical Meltdown.
But-
Crazy.
But for
But for Albaz,
yeah, is it a field spell? No, it's a continuous spell card.
just as good.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same general concept of activating. It just kind of sits there.
That's so frustrating.
They're making more of them.
We were all over here just complaining and being upset because we're just like, man,
Meltdown needs to go.
yeah, we're like, Meltdown needs to go. The fact that you can't respond is just cancerous.
And they're making more.
Right, Konami's like, yeah, we hear you.
We're gonna make more of them.
Yeah. We hear you. Absolutely. We hear your frustration. But this archetype also needs the exact same thing. Gross.
Very.
We do also know some reprints coming in the structure deck for the OCG at least. We don't know about TCG. Fallen of Albaz, that makes sense. Albion the Shrouded Dragon, which is, I think, one of the branded cards, I think, here.
Yes. Yeah. He's Albion the branded dragon here, I think.
Okay. And Dogmatica Fleur de Lis, which is cool.
It's not going to be in there for us.
No, it probably will. If I had
Really?
to,
You think so?
I think so, because it's got the equal attack and defense. You were correct about that.
Okay.
And then it's also, it fits in with the deck. So, and I mean, we already have a Fleur de Lis reprint here, like realistically. So, and then Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, that makes sense. Branded in white, makes sense. Screams of the Branded, Judgment of the Branded, makes sense. Titaniclad, that makes a lot of sense. Brigand the Glory Dragon, Sprind the Iron Dash Dragon, and Albion the Branded Dragon. All of those make sense.
Yeah, because those are all of his fusions.
Yes. And then on the same day, you'll have some new sleeves that come out in the OCG that feature Albaz and Ecclesia and the Tri-Brigade Rebellion.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, some new Tri-Brigade sleeves would be dope. So, realistically, it's a very cool deck. It's a very cool... I mean, I think it's very cool. Everything's very cool about it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just... I don't know if it'll be good or not, but it's cool.
Yeah, my biggest
Except for
issue...
the...
like I said, my biggest issue with it is the branded paradise.
Yeah, the fact that you can just...
It's a branded spell, so it's
Searchable.
more searchable
Then Meltdown. At least Meltdown you have to hard open. This is searchable.
Well, no, because terraforming. But that's one search card as compared to 3.
Yeah, the whole archetype.
So it's actually worse. It's better and worse than Meltdown. Better in the sense that it's more searchable than Meltdown. Worse because it's more searchable than Meltdown.
Well, and the thing is, it's not even that it's more searchable than Meltdown. It's also going to be what's the word I'm looking for? You don't get the search for Albaz on activation. If you do it when you do a fusion summon, then you get to search.
Which is fair.
Yeah. So the other thing is, this is something that's really interesting. I think that these two things combined, this structure deck and the agent structure deck, could be what's I've heard referred to as a top in a box, which is like the structure deck is good enough to where you buy 3 structure decks, tech it out with a couple of little things here and there if you really feel like you need to, and you could realistically do well at a competitive event just off of a structure deck, just off of a single package. So
like one card I would 100% be like, yeah, you gotta, like, I would highly recommend adding into that is definitely Cross Sheep.
Oh yeah, because Cross Sheep's really good in any fusion strategy.
Oh yeah, because like if you make Cross Sheep and then summon Albaz, effect a fuse, and then if you fuse into one of the zones, you can just summon your Albaz back out.
Right.
And then I think Albaz's fusion effect is once per turn.
Yeah.
If it's not, I don't know for sure if it's whether or not it is. If it's not, you can just immediately fuse again.
Yeah.
If it's not key term. If it is, you still get to recycle your Albaz back.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Or not even just Albaz, just any level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard you can just recycle back.
Yeah, I think that between this deck and the agent structure deck, if we were to get that here, we could enter like a new age of cheap, good Yu-Gi-Oh!
Which would be amazing. Yeah, because like right now, the most like right now, I mean, you got the reprint of Zeus, making Zeus more accessible. TTT's more accessible. Forbidden Droplets getting another reprint coming up.
Yeah, for the agent structure deck, the biggest thing that you're gonna need to get before it comes out is the Baron. Well, it was Baroness de Fleur. Now it's Baron de Fleur.
Which we'll get into that next.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about next.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like it's just a couple of synchro, a couple of synchros coming out of Synchro Storm, some stuff like that.
right.
Yeah, like I said, that's if we even get the agent structure deck, which it's not looking like we are, unfortunately. So whatever set the new agent stuff comes out in,
Right. I will say that
get your super shine balls.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the Legendary Duelist Season 8. I do want to talk about that.
Yes, as we do have the entire set list for Synchro Storm.
Right. So, EN000 is Clearwing Synchro Dragon.
That's the Ghost Rare.
Is the Ghost Rare Clearwing Synchros or Crystal Clearwing Synchro? Because I thought it was Crystal Clearwing Synchro.
I don't think Crystal Clearwing Synchro is even in this. I don't think. I didn't see it when I looked at it.
Crystal Clearwing Synchro right here.
Oh, okay. I don't know then. Because I figured 000 would be the Ghost Rare. Because that's what they did with the Raw set, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I guess it could
Where
be.
Raw was 000.
We know for a fact what the Ghost Rare is. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's been announced, and we've already discussed it once. It's just been a while. Because it's a Ghost Rare.
The Ghost Rare is. That's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll get that for you.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. The thing that I will say though is that, the set's really interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it's got lots of really cool
Okay, yeah,
stuff.
Crystal Clearwing Synchro is the ghost. It's an Ultra and a ghost.
Okay, well, what's its number?
EN005.
Okay, cool. Okay, so 000 is just regular Clearwing
Yes. So
for some reason.
right. So you got the Clearwing Synchro Dragon.
And you have Crystal Clearwing, which was an upgraded form of
Right.
upgraded in quotation marks.
Yeah.
form of
That's
it.
the new one.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Let's see. And like for me looking through it, it's got just about every Speedway card in there.
yep.
I mean, it's got Takatom. It's got the ones that matter at least. Takatomborg, Terratop, and Red Eye Dice.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to do pure Speedroy, it's got everything else too.
Yep. It's got the new cards that just came out, like the. Oh gosh, I want to say Double Yo-Yo is a new one.
Yeah.
And the dog.
The roulette.
Daiko
wheel.
Duke.
The roulette wheel.
Yeah, Speedward Wheel.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Mm-hmm. I think Clearwing Rider is a new one. I think they had like 4 or 5 new cards.
Yeah.
Some of the new cards are really good.
Oh yeah, like in pure Speedroid, the Speedroid wheel is a +1.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it really is very good right out the gate.
And like Terratop plus Takatomborg by themselves is already a great rank 3 engine.
Right.
And yeah, it's a great rank 3 engine in a synchro deck. So
yeah,
that should tell you something.
So you do have all the Speed Reward cards. You have all the high Speed Reward cards, even things like Speed Recovery, Speed Lift. And then you get into the stuff from what's her name from the anime?
I don't remember. I thought about it right whenever you said Baroness de Fleur. I was like, oh yeah, Cheryl.
Yeah.
I think it's Cheryl.
I think you're right. So we get into
It's Sherry LeBlanc.
Sherry LeBlanc. That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. You get into some of the other stuff from the set, which is the Fleur stuff. So you have Sage de Fleur, you have
Sorcerer de Fleur,
right.
Fleur Synchron, Necro Synchron,
right.
Necro Fleur,
Chevalier de Fleur, things like that. But
Baroness is Baronne de Fleur. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that at all.
I guess to make it sound more French than Baroness. Considering it's Chevalier de Fleur.
Right. Probably. But I don't know. I think Baroness would have been fine, but
it's whatever.
Yeah.
De Fleur to me is enough French.
Yeah. Well, so you got that. You have the Fleurette de Fleur. You
Oh,
have
and then there's the they also got their horse. White Steed of Flowers, I think it's called.
White Steed of the Floral Knights.
Yes, it is an amazing extender for the deck. So it's level 5 that if you can that can just special summon itself. I don't remember the requirements for it.
Yeah, and I don't have it pulled up.
Yeah, but it's just a level 5, and then you can fetch one of your other Synchrons, and you can grab like Floor Synchron, and that's level 2, and you can go right into Chevalier.
Right.
Or normal summon and go into Baroness.
Yep. In addition, you also get some cool synchro stuff such as Quillbolt Hedgehog, Synchron Explorer, Unknown Synchron,
Reprints that were needed.
Necro Synchron. Yep, the only good Synchrons left, honestly.
Yeah.
Then you get all of the Lyrilisk stuff, just all of it.
We don't mean all the new ones. We mean literally every Lyrilisk card that is, that's going to be printed is in here. You got
You don't have the Fusion in here, I don't think.
yeah, like that might be the one card that's not in there because you have the new Celeste Wagtail and Barrel Canary and
Ensemble Blue Robin.
Ensemble Blue Robin and Promenade Thrush. But then they also reprinted both the other Exceeds.
Which is Assembled Nightingale and Recital Starling.
Yeah, Recital Starling, and then they also reprinted Cobalt Sparrow,
Sapphire Swallow.
and
Turquoise Warbler.
Turquoise Warbler.
Yeah.
Plus Bird Call.
Yep. There's actually 3 new spell cards that go with it. Bird Call, Bird Sanctuary, and Phantom Feathers.
Phantom Feathers is a trap card.
Trap card, I'm sorry.
But you can activate it from your hand if you control Lyrilisk, I think.
Yeah. So Bird Call, it lets you either add a Lyrilisk monster from your deck to your hand or send one from your deck to your graveyard, and then it lets you special summon one with a different name from your hand.
Yup.
It's insane. It's honestly insane.
Hold on. So what you do is that if you already have Cobalt Spur in your hand and Bird Call, you activate Bird Call, mill the Searcher, and then effect special summon a different one you have in your hand that's a different name. And then effect special summon the Cobalt Sparrow, which will then bring back out the one engrave.
Right.
And that's 3 monsters on board immediately.
And you can do that with a lot of the different names in your hand. There's different ways to finesse it because of the versatility that Bird Call gives you.
Oh yeah. And like one of them is like the Cobalt Sparrow's effect is if you control a Winged Beast, you can special summon it and another level 1 Winged Beast from your hand. Mm-hmm. That's easily done by special summoning by like Foolish Burialing the Celeste Wagtail, I think. No, not Celeste Wagtail.
Barrel Canary?
Yeah, no, Turquoise Warbler. By knowing the Turquoise Warbler, special summoning the and then it comes out. When Turquoise Warbler gets special summoned, no matter where from, you can add another level 1 Winged Beast to your hand.
Yeah, we're just talking about how it works in relation to the ones that are already out. That's not even incorporating the Celeste Wagtail or
and
the Barrel Canary.
Which Barrel Canary is stupidly good and it's a rare.
Right.
Granted, the Celeste Wagtail is an ultra, and Ensemble Blue Robin is an ultra, and I think Bird Call is an ultra.
Yes, it is.
But the other spell card, what do they call it in the TCG?
Bird Sanctuary?
No, it's like something strike. I don't see Bird Strike on here.
I don't think that one was coming in this set.
No, because it was in the OCG. Ooh, that's like the one we're not getting.
Bird Strike? What is that?
So if you control a Lyrilisk monster, negate all face-up cards your opponent controls.
Oh, that's right. It was the Dark Ruler No More.
Yeah, a searchable Dark Ruler No More. Yeah, so Bird Sanctuary is if you control 2 Lyrilisk Exceed monsters, you target one, you make your first target and second target, then you attach your second target and all of its materials to the first target as material.
Right.
Which by the way makes it feasibly possible to have a 12 material Zeus, which I think is hilarious.
I mean, yeah, if you structure everything correctly, it is possible.
Which is just absolutely hilarious. Just 6 board wipes on a Zeus. All your opponent can really do is cry.
Mm-hmm. So, and they also have Promenade Thrush, which is 2 level 1 monsters, exceeds, gains 500 attack for each material. Once per turn, you can attach one from its card, then target one spell trap your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. So, and it's also got some damage depth stuff, like most of them do. But, yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's really interesting. And for those that want to know what Ensemble Blue Robin does, it's a rank 1, 2 level 1s.
2 or more. All the Lyrillist succeeds are 2 or more.
Yeah. Gains 500 material for each 500 attack for each material. If your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target one of those special summon monsters and return it to the hand. And if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can target one other Lyrilisk in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So good. So good.
Oh my god.
So, and then you've also got Synchron Explorer, Unknown Synchron, Rush Warrior, Mariami the True Draco Phoenix, Stardust Warrior, Stardust Assault Warrior, Totem Bird, Tornado Dragon, and Quillpen of Gildos for some reason.
I mean, because Quillpen of Goldos isn't terrible. It's you target 2 1 monsters in your graveyard and 1 on field. You shuffle the 2 in graveyard back in your deck, and then you return the 1 on the field back to the hand.
Right.
It's not terrible. It's not good either. It's not terrible.
So, as a general rule of thumb, here is the advice that I will give going into this release, because this set's going to release this coming weekend. It'll be available in OTS stores, I think, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, one or the other. And then full release everywhere else Saturday.
Right. So, what I would recommend is pick up as many copies as you can of Baroness de Fleur, or Baron de Fleur.
She is generic and really good in any deck that can hit, what is she, level 10?
Yes. So it's a level 10 synchro, and it's very, very good in the actual Baron deck. It's good in the Speedroid deck, but it is also good in the Sword Soul and the Agent deck. In fact, it's extremely good. It's maybe the best card in the Sword Soul deck.
Oh yeah, no, not. It is arguable, but it's
the ability to hit that card so easily is one of the best things about it.
Yeah, no.
So,
yeah, because even Chevalier de Fleur was actually pretty good for the time,
but it was hard to hit because it wasn't generic.
Yeah,
it was generic.
You had to use Fleur Synchron, who is garbage.
Yep.
That being said, Necrosynchron, I think it's called, the new one.
Yes.
Is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid. But honestly, I would recommend picking up any Ultra you can get your hands on out of this set when you really think about it, because it's a Legendary Duelist set. The Ultras here aren't going to get reprinted for like a year plus.
Minimum.
I mean, if what they've done what they've done in the past is any indication, I mean, look at Magician's Souls. Look at Legendary or Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. A Dusted Gold, Malicious Bane. They might only start out at, a couple of dollars, but over time they're going to go up. Look at Soul Servant, right? From Magical Hero, that was considered a bad pull. And now Soul Servants are $35 a piece. Yep. They were only $1 or $2 on release.
Oh, okay. So I just went ahead and pulled up Baroness de Fleur's effect. I'm still going to keep calling her Baroness.
Right.
Once per turn, target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Period. Next effect. While face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, negate, and if you do, destroy that card.
Right.
It's a once while face up on the field, omni negate.
So good.
You can only yeah. And it's once while face up on the field, and even once per turn. Hard once per turn. So, because you could theoretically get this thing out, pop its effect, and then get it out again.
Right.
Once per turn during the standby phase, here's how. You can target a level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard. Return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon that monster. So
good.
So it tags out into a much weaker monster because it's level 10. But then let's say you tag onto a level 8 and you have a level 2 in hand. Level 2 tuner, normal summon.
Or you can tag out into one of the Sword Soul cards and then resummon.
Exactly. And just make it again.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the once per turn pop is a soft once per turn.
Yeah.
It's not once, you can only use this effect once, this effect of Baroness de Fleur once per turn. It's just once per turn. So there is actually still a good reason to make multiple Baroness de Fleurs per turn.
Right. I think that'll pretty much that is pretty much it for today. I do want to take a quick moment to say, please join our Discord. It is a wonderful place. We're over 100 members strong now. It's a great place to come, hang out, get games in all the different formats. Wonderful place.
Enter tournaments when we start having more of those.
Yep. please, please, please follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. You can get all the latest news, information, and our thoughts on things. Please, please, please be sure to check out Team Dark Arm Dealings on YouTube. A link and it will be in the description below.
Really good friends of ours, super cool people.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing that I want to impart on you moving forward is thank you so much. I know 50 episodes is not a lot compared to some of the other larger creators in the community.
Well, I mean, they've also been around longer than us.
Yeah, and I know 50 episodes is not a lot compared to other podcasts, other this, other that. It's just not as much.
Again, they've also been out much longer than us.
But for us, it's awesome. And we couldn't have gotten where we are without the support of the community and without the support of the people around us, the other players, other creators.
ETB.
Right. ETB, which we're going to do an ad for them in a second. But I just, without the support of all of the players, without the support of all of the community members, a big thanks to very specifically Yishan being our first guest, Tatsum for coming on and being awesome all the time. Thanks to the Don Juan, Shiggies, of course, all of our guests. A huge special thanks to both Dylan and Giant Skyhawk. They have come on the show several times. They've filled in when one of us is sick. Just always ready and willing to help. Giant Skyhawk was the head judge in our tournament. Dylan provided the prize support for the tournament. That was a donation from Team Dark Arm Dealings because they're awesome. So, without the support of the community, we really would not be able to do what we do. So, and of course, a huge special thank you to ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana.
And our continued sponsor for our episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Without that sponsorship and without that, again, this probably wouldn't be possible. So I know I'm saying it a lot, but thank you all so much to all the supporters and everybody that has just gone out of their way and done so much to help us and to be there to support us, to let us know how much they love the podcast, just for genuinely just being awesome. So we're over 10,000 total plays now, which is just crazy. So before we leave, the last thing I want to do, I want to get into the podcast question of the day. I did not forget this time. I did, but I kind of remembered. So, last week's podcast question of the day, last Friday's episode, is there a particular tech or combo that you haven't seen around that you like? So, of course, no one expects Magic Cylinder, not a soul. True. Back in the form of Shadal's, Nekroz, and Cleefort, I liked my triple skill drain, double cyclone, and Gear Town combo, because if I went first, I could set 2, activate Gear Town, normal Beast King, Barbaros pass, and then they set a scale or something, or they activate a skill, you could activate the Cyclones, pop their back row, Gear Town, get stuff, and then flip skill drain for free 3,000 beaters. Scraps, the entire scrap package is ridiculous, very true. You ever hit him with Contact C, Rivalry of Warlords? That's a war crime, so
yeah,
try to avoid that one, but good. Haven't seen anyone play Wind Witch with Dark Magician. Sure, Lay's DM support is considered the best version, but with Wind Witch, you can get a good Crystal Wing out. That's true. Iron Dragon Tiamaton.
Interesting.
That is an interesting one. That's very, very interesting.
Very interesting. And whenever I say interesting in this situation, I don't mean interesting as I think that's bad. That's interesting as that's actually really cool.
Right. Yeah. I kind of like the tech. Here's another one. I've always liked kaijuing and stealing the kaiju back with anima. That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
Yeah, if you have a deck that can consistently hit anima, that's an awesome one.
Yep, like Leerlisk.
Mm-hmm. I have a fun chaos deck where I used to use Ceremonial Bell and cards like DD Designator to rip cards out of the hand. That's gross. 2 different barrier statues on field stops all special summoning. Also gross. Mix that with a Moon Mirror Shield on one and Heart of Clear Water on the other. That's just disgusting. None of them are super competitive, but Digital Bugs mixed in with Beat Troopers have some cool combos. That's true. If I had Skill Drain at 3 again, I would run my Malefic Beatdown again. Yeah, and that's the Double Cyclone Gear Town. Yep, so he's in the server and on Twitter. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's so many different ways and so many different things that so many different things you could do.
Oh yeah.
So I really do like the idea of some of the different things that are possible. So, and of course, for this episode's podcast question of the day, we have.
Ooh. What is the deck you've always wanted to learn/play but haven't gotten around to?
So, this is an interesting question. Oh, and by the way, my answer for the previous question was 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite in Tri-Brigade decks.
Ooh.
Very spicy deck. You can
That
pitch
is
it.
spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just revive it by bouncing back
Yep.
one of your...
So, like, something hilarious that you can do is you can activate, if you already have it in hand, of course, you have to hard draw it usually. Or you can send it with Fractal and, like, bounce something on, and yeah.
Yep, it gives you another body on board.
Right, but it can also give you a second activation of Tenki.
That's a good point.
You can bounce Tenki back to hand, and then, like, next turn you can activate Tenki again.
Yeah, and get another Fractal Search.
Yep, broken. So, but
for me, let's see. I think the spiciest tech that I've ever come up with was probably Double Summon in Medolce. And I only even came up with that because I didn't have 3 Salon. So if I open Salon plus Magicland plus Double Summon, it's ridiculous because I can normal summon the first Magicland, search another one, double summon the other Magicland, search a third Magicland, Salon, summon that Magicland, and then search out whatever I want.
right, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, because double summon, because the way double summon Salon are worded, they stack. Because double summon doesn't get because double summon gives you an additional normal summon, because it changes specifically how many normal summons you get. Whereas Salon just activate to normal summon a Medolce. It doesn't modify your normal summons per turn.
Well, the deck I've always wanted to learn and play but haven't gotten around to, I think is an interesting question. And you can be sure to answer that question in response to our Twitter post, which will go up around the time of the podcast going up. And you can also answer it in our Podcast Question of the Day channel in our Discord server. Thank you all again so much for your support. Thank you for the love. It means the world. So thank you all for listening and have a good day.
Take care, everyone.